That pain that you're dealing with, facing, overburdening, highly uncomfortable, miserable, and seems like it's just a worthless thing, can actually be mined for some very resourceful, impactful nuggets to help you. It actually can have value. Hey, human. Coach Nate here with another mindful focus to share with you. I want to talk about transforming pain into personal growth. Yes, it's possible. You don't need me to tell you that pain hurts, it's hard, it's difficult, it's uncomfortable, and at times it feels unbearable. Don't you don't feel like you can go on. It doesn't really matter, seldom does it, if it's inflicted by others or self inflicted. What we do know is when it comes to pain, that ruminating on it, thinking about it, constantly dwelling on it, can actually make matters worse. Some of the unhealthy approaches to dealing with pain is overthinking, running the source, reason, event for the pain over in our minds again and again and again, ruminating, overthinking. That can take us deeper in to the vortex of pain, even causing us to feel overwhelmed and even paralyzed, unable to move, function. Can get into depressed states where even then the smallest thing, task, can feel overwhelming. We also know when it comes to pain that resisting the pain, fighting it like I don't want it to exist, wishing it away, that it wasn't here, can increase, not decrease, the amount of pain that you're feeling. Why? Because that focus, that resistance to pain, makes it more prominent, top of mind, what we're focused on. And we all know what you focus on most is what you see. An example of that, think of a red car while you're driving, and then count how many red cars you see. And you probably will be surprised just how many of them there are. They didn't increase in quantity, they were always there, but because that's where your focus is, that's what you're seeing more of. It can even get to the point where we focus so much on pain, it can become just overbearing, exhausting our energy, bringing us into a low mood, creating anxiety, worry, fear. And then we realize we're doing it to ourselves. And then the process repeats, continues, envelops, grows greater. Pain can then turn into a bottomless pit for us to fall and dwell in, or it could be just a speed bump that we roll over, or it could be a tool to use, a resource to help us that we can mine for something of value to help us in our journey. The beauty in all of that is that we get to choose. That choice is not left up to others. That's your choice. So in terms of the how do you let go, live now, and when in when you're trying to transform pain into personal growth. The very first step is to acknowledge the pain, why you feel whatever is occurring, why you feel the way you do, whatever is occurring. Not ignore it or pretend it doesn't exist. If the pain is a result of a problem, as the saying goes, unlike fine wine, problems do not get better with age. We're You are better served to lean into the pain, the source, face it head on, acknowledging it as much as you can, and then pause, take a breath, try to maintain your composure, be mindful, breathe, regroup, and repeat. When dealing with and facing pain, when leaning into it, I liken it to when a doctor prescribes you a medication that it's called titration, and they have you take a little bit, and then you can increase the dosage and increase the dosage and increase the dosage. If you start with 1,500 milligrams and as opposed to 300 and then get up there, things could go sideways. It could be too much. That same process can be true when we're leaning into and facing what it is, the source of the pain, what is. We have a capacity to deal with, endure, withstand so much at any given time. So you lean into it a little bit, face it, step back, breathe, and then a little bit more, and then back and breathe, and then and work your way into it. I'm not saying go full on. That's drinking from a charged fire hose. You might find your lips all the way over there, separated from your head. Don't do that. It's a slow, gradual process, is what I'm saying. In leaning into and facing, acknowledging your pain, it's becoming aware of whatever emotions that you are feeling around the source of the pain, acknowledging those emotions. I feel sad, I feel angry, I feel betrayed, I feel neglected, I feel abandoned, I feel however you feel and what emotion that is attached to that. And then sit with that emotion. Sit with that emotion. Experience it. This is how I feel. And when we sit with it, acknowledge it, and even embrace it like we chose it, that is like putting an Alka-Seltzer tablet in water. It begins to dissipate. Slowly, but it does. When we resist it and push back and ignore or try to retreat, it seems to grow and increase. Face how you feel. Sit with it. Experience it. That allows you to eventually release it. The next thing we can do then, as we're moving through this process, is to reflect on the situation, event, circumstance, source of the pain, and look for the lesson, the learning that generally can be found within that situation. And that comes through embracing the truth. Is it something that I did? Is it something that I caused? Or is it something from somebody else's behavior? Did I relax a boundary that then became the source of my pain? Did I not uphold it? Or did I go somewhere where I knew that I had no business, I should not have, for whatever reason, whether I was well-intentioned, I wanted to help somebody, or it was just a simple mistake? It may not be good news that you hear when you're facing it, when you're when you're reflecting, when you're looking for the learning. But if you are honest with yourself and you look for, why did this happen? That gives you a path, insight into how you can prevent it from happening again. That process that I just described of leaning in, feeling our emotions, allowing ourselves, sitting with them, reflecting, is the pathway to healing from the pain. And then extracting the learning from it so we don't repeat the cycle. Embracing that process rather than embracing the pain. Why? Because if we continue to engross ourselves with the pain, ignoring it, pretending like it doesn't exist, and just repeatedly experiencing it over time, we can actually become comfortable with that discomfort. And we know that we are more inclined to go with what is comfortable to us, even though it makes us miserable, than face the scariness of something that is unfamiliar, that we are less comfortable with. In other words, don't get comfortable with the unnecessary reoccurrence of the pain. Because we can find ourselves getting stuck. And that's a very unhealthy place to be. When we embrace the pain, embrace our emotions around the pain, rather than resisting, treating them like we chose them, sit with and allow ourselves to experience our emotions around it, extract the lesson, the learning, how can things be different next time? Over time, and that's the biggest word in all of that I'm trying to get to, things will improve. We can take that pain and it can help, we can inject that into our character, who we are, our personality, and that can help us to grow. That can help us to manage through. One other aspect of taking pain and growing from is to leverage, if you can, a healthy support system, trusted individuals, generally few in numbers, that can help you get out of your own head and the repeat cycle. And it may be just a couple of nuggets or insight, or maybe in your vulnerable sharing with that trusted source, you can hear yourself outwardly. It may sound like it makes sense here, but when you speak, oh, you know what? And it can help you shift and move into a more healthy place. Trusted resource, trusted individual is key. The other part of the support circle in dealing with the pain is it helps us to know that we're not alone. We aren't the first to go through this and won't be the last. That helps us to depersonalize it. Why is this happening to me? Well, it happens to a lot of people quite often. That focus does not serve us to help us get through it. That focus makes us feel more and more like the victim, and then we invite more negativeness into our aura energy, and the pain just increases. We may have absolutely been victimized, but you are stronger, more powerful, more capable. You are not what somebody caused you to try to be, or what what image in their mind they had of you that it gave them permission to treat you in the manner they did, or do to you what they did. You are not that. You are much more and much stronger. The last part of this is, if you know of somebody who's going through similar, experiencing similar, that you care about, more than likely you would show them grace. You would feel compassion for them and empathy. With that exact same mindset, ensure that you show yourself the same grace, the same compassion, the same empathy. Saying things like, stupid, you shouldn't have, you would not say that to somebody that you care about. Don't say that to yourself. You wouldn't want to risk offending someone that you care about. and hurting the relationship. Don't offend yourself or hurt the most important relationship you have in life, the one that you have with yourself. You are more valuable. You are greater than. You have more strength. You are worth more. You matter. Your life matters. Your feelings matter. Your emotions matter. And that priority should be number one, and therefore the first recipient of the grace that you give to take what might have been done to you and use that to strengthen yourself and build and move forward. As I read recently, they didn't realize the bricks they were throwing at me. I took and I built a building. You can build yourself up with what others are trying to use to tear you down. Your choice, your focus, your effort. Just sharing some insights with you. Feel free to try them or toss them. Both of those can be correct answers, but only you can make that determination for yourself. If you like this content, please do subscribe, like, hit the notification bell so you know when I post additional content like this. Share it with others who you feel might benefit from it. And as always, remember to let go, live now, and win.